Hello, this is David Carr from Berkshire Hathaway Home Services in Milford, Connecticut, and this is my video about the house price index in Connecticut. This is a public service of delivering public information to help people make a decision about home ownership, and my job is to help you become an expert in your market and work as a fiduciary on your behalf. So obviously I always advise people to work with people on my team or their own financial advisor and attorney when in a real estate transaction. This is the all transaction house price index for New Haven and Milford. You can see how prices went up to the peak of the irrational exuberance until they came down to the point of correction. And since then we've been in this rather flat period I call the car value shelf. We've seen a few quarters of appreciation since that time. But you can see what happened over time and how someone who bought here and kept their house would have seen the value go up. And if they had sold in this period, they would have been okay. But if they waited past here, they would have had to wait until about 2012 until they were able to sell. So there might have been a 5-year period when you would have been underwater. It's a lot of information that I provide people so that they can talk with me and expand their understanding and their confidence in real estate. We're going to look at the Case-Shiller National Home Price Index, and you can see how this has gone up nationally compared to what was happening in Connecticut in the past, and as well as the New York Home Price Index. You see they've seen more appreciation than we have here in that same time period. You can stop the video and go back and look at it. When we look at the FHFA House Price Index purchase only, this shows you the annual appreciation and this shows you the quarterly appreciation. So you can see quarterly it's been about 1%, starting to get about 1.5% a year. So when you put those quarters together, you get annual appreciation here. And you can see how this is. It's all on the FHA website that you can look at, or follow them on Twitter or LinkedIn and see more videos. And that's how I learned about this. So going back to the New Haven All Transactions Index, when you think about how the other ones went up, you can see how ours is flat, which is the value shelf, which I believe is supporting an undervalued market here in Connecticut. And again, the National Monthly House Price Index has gone up significantly compared to what's happened in Connecticut. These are other indexes you can look at. We're looking at the all transactions. The expanded data is not available in Connecticut, and Distress Free has no foreclosures. So they're all available if you'd like to look at them. This is the New Haven Milford Index, and you can see this corresponds to the chart. You can see how the 176 where we are now was there. So anybody who bought before that time would be okay now. And if you bought any time, you would have seen prices go up, and you might have sold as prices gone up, or maybe you didn't. If you didn't sell, you would have seen prices come down, and you would have had to wait a while to get to where we are now, because prices did go down, as you saw in the chart. And what we came to was the car value shelf, and this is a time when I noticed the numbers weren't depreciating as fast. So I believe that this was a shelf of value because we saw the up and the down here. And I called this in 2012, and you can see how these years we stayed right in that 174, 175 range over all these years. So it's this huge base of comparable value that exists in Connecticut at this time, at a time when values really haven't appreciated compared to the rest of the United States. And in the last 3 quarters, we've moved out of that 178 up into 182. So things have looked better. You can see the same type of information on the purchase only index, which really follows the same, a little different, not too much. Always, prices are determined by rates, demands, motivation. A lot of different things can affect the value of a house, but obviously living in a house is different than an apartment because you control the environment. You're going to get equity growth tax savings, and rents go up 2% a year. So hashtag homeownership builds wealth is my story about why I believe in homeownership over renting, and I know you and your goals are unique. So I am your fiduciary representative to help you look at your situation, which is the most important. When we look at appreciation by state, You can see that Connecticut was ranked 39 out of 50 with our 5-year appreciation and our 1-year appreciation here. See? Since 1991, values have gone up 74%. So, over time, values have gone up. And 100 largest metros. This is another chart you can look at, see where you are on this one. We're closer to the bottom with our, you can see how large these are. And by metropolitan area, MSA ratings, all transactions index, again, that's the one we've been looking at. You can see we're ranked number 220 at the end of the first quarter. That's why we're looking at this chart to see our national rank. The top rank here, you can see some really aggressive appreciation in Washington, Nevada, Idaho, and this is the top in the last quarter, and this is the bottom. So with us being at 220, you see we're not in the very bottom, but we're not too far from it. So I think we have a lot of upside. So this is the what I have to share with you today. I hope you found it interesting, and I hope you go out and take the time to understand your market and what your goals are, so that when it's time to make a decision about real estate, it'll be a good one for you. My name is David Carr. I'm the foundation of your success in real estate since 1996 here in Milford, Connecticut, when the time is right for you.